talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fan in the Sunshine State. We are game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. I happen to be Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That man right over there is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media, the prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes getting it done on the other side of the glass. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. We want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. You can always enter that rage cage. Just hit that talk back button on the bottom of the iHeartRadio app, that microphone. You can rant and rave about anything you want. You can also hit us up on the Mills Air text line, 50857. Krabby Krabs, another beautiful day in Central Florida, especially when you're cruising down the boulevard in a new car, baby.
That's right. I'm feeling like the man rolling around town. I got myself into a new ride today. Man, that process takes way too long. But I did some good haggling this afternoon.
You drove a hard bargain, didn't you, Krabs?
They said, here's what you would put down. Here's the monthly payment. And I slid the paper back and I said, you're going to have to do better than that, son. And they said, now they understood who they were dealing with.
Did they have to take the paper back to the other office and let the main man look at it?
Has anyone ever bought a car where the paper didn't end up going back to the manager? Why don't they just give you the bottom line price? I don't understand how we're in 2025 and it's still car dealerships still operate this way. Mike, they came out. I'm on a lease with this dealership. I've paid my payments on time. My car is clean. The car that I drive, there's nothing wrong with it. They don't even make it anymore. So I know that it has value because cars that are not produced anymore increase in value. So I knew I had a position of leverage and my lease wasn't up for another 7 months. I was getting ahead of things. So I was very comfortable walking away. This guy sits down. He goes, all right, $4,000 down for this new car. I did fall in love with the one I'm driving now. $4,000 down, X number of dollars a month. And I said, I'm not putting any money down. The guy goes, okay. Let me grab my paper. I'm going to go back to my boss. This guy comes back. He said $4,000 down. I'm like, he's going to come back. He's going to slice it in half, and I'm going to walk out. He goes, all right, we're down to $0 down, and somehow my monthly payment from them went down also. So they were just going to try and rob me?
Yeah. No, it's not robbing you. They're just trying to make a little extra money for themselves.
If I had just said yes to their original offer, I'd be out $4,000 and my monthly payment would be about $100 more than what it is right now. Instead, I went $0 down, and I am paying more than I was in my previous vehicle, but this is a nice ride. So feeling good. I feel like I did proper haggling. I don't know why it still operates this way, but here we are. And now I'm cruising down the highway in my brand new ride.
I'm glad you feel like you got a good deal, Jeff.
You think I got hosed?
No. Sounds like you did good. All right, let's get to some highlights and some headlines. In fact, you did a lot better today than your Orlando Magic did last night. Let's review what happened to the Magic and their 127-112 loss to the Hawks last night. They shot poorly from three-point range. They turned it over a lot. They fouled too much. They couldn't defend the three-point line. They gave away too many easy fast break points. And Desmond Bane got ejected from the game after fouling Onyeka Okongwu under the basket and then firing the ball at his head. So that was pretty much a synopsis of the Magic game. Here's the lowlights from last night.
Here's Reza Shea, catch and shoot three. That's up and good. This dude is smoking us. And Desmond Bane was in good position, but Reza Shea is so long. Here's Johnson. Gets baseline, leaves his feet into the corner. Okongwu, three ball is up and good. And the Magic have left the corner all night long, and I just don't know why. Daniels dancing around, shot clock's down to 3. Daniels takes it inside, steps in, right-handed hook shot's up and good. He's got some nifty footwork down low. And we'll get one final timeout here, I think probably to empty out the benches.
Yeah, I think in that moment, I think a lot of it happened to be, we turned it over a couple of times. The momentum shifted when they were getting downhill, early easy baskets. It took its toll on our defense because they were getting those easy baskets, and we weren't being able to generate any offense because of necessarily turnovers as well as the foul. There was no real rhythm to the game.
That was Coach Mosley, I think, talking about the third quarter when the Magic just did not play well. All 5 Hawks starters scored in double figures last night, and they did it without all-star guard Trae Young, who's going to be out several weeks with a sprained MCL in his knee. The Magic shot 32% from 3. The Hawks shot 43% from 3. One of the few bright spots for the Magic was Tristan Da Silva, who had 20 points, 4 or 5 from three-point range. Kravitz, I'm still not going to overreact to how bad the Magic are playing, all right? I'm still not going to say that we all overrated the Magic when, maybe we shouldn't have. But when I see teams like the Bulls and the Sixers playing well, supposedly lesser teams playing well, and the Magic playing bad, I'm starting to lean in the direction that we overrated the Magic.
It is definitely looking like that. I think maybe one of the things that we underrated was how problematic it would be for this personnel group to change the style in which they play basketball. That's something that we didn't really take into account. You just hear, ooh, they're going to play faster and they're going to shoot more threes, and this team isn't built for that. And on top of it, their defense, which has been their hallmark quality over the last couple of years, has taken a major hit. I think Desmond Bane is a better player than Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and the season will bear that out. Like, they're really not close in terms of overall quality of NBA player, but KCP is a better defender, and Desmond Bane isn't giving you a consistent 3-ball yet. He actually shot the ball well last night, got himself ejected. So when he is shooting well, he's a hothead who's not as good a defender as the guy that you swapped out. And Jalen Suggs is still only playing 20 minutes a night when he plays. And I don't know what is going on with Jonathan Isaac. He's your best defender pound for pound, and he's nowhere to be found. So they've changed the way that they play. They don't have the personnel for it. And I think it's caught them flat-footed, where they just don't seem comfortable within the flow of a basketball game unless they're playing Washington. So I'm not going to say, I don't know where this qualifies in the overreaction, level-headedness. I think they need to change back to what they were a year ago because this isn't working. And I feel pretty confident in saying that.
Well, I'm still going to reserve judgment. I'm going to take David Steele's advice and give it a month. I'm going to give it a month, and we'll see what happens. Speaking of Desmond Bane, here's how he got ejected. Do we have that clip?
Des? Nope. Okay. Working. We're efforting.
We're efforting the club. All right, while we're efforting that, let's jump to
third quarter. Bane races up a quick 3. He missed it. Johnson, the rebound, tries the home run pass, connects with a Kongwu and a hard foul, Desmond Bane. And we've got tempers flaring. It was a very hard foul by Desmond Bane. I'm sure they're going to review that. And then he followed through and spiked the ball down.
Yeah, Okongwu gets fouled. He gets yanked down by Desmond Bane. The ball sort of bounces up, and in one motion, Desmond Bane corrals the ball and fires it at Okongwu's head and gets ejected. So, yeah, he deserved to be ejected.
It was pretty cool. It wasn't cool that he did that, but the speed in which he thought with his anger, which you shouldn't lead with, but, just thinking about how impressive it was that this guy is midair and goes, I can add insult to injury here by taking the ball and spiking it onto his head. It shows a lot of just natural instinct, a natural anger instinct from Desmond Bane. I don't think that's a positive, but it's still impressive.
Well, it may be a positive. We'll get to that later. All right, college football. The first college football playoff rankings are out. Ohio State, no surprise, number 1. Indiana, number 2. Texas A&M, number 3. 3 SEC teams follow. the Aggies, Alabama 4, Georgia 5, Ole Miss 6, BYU 7, Texas Tech 8, Oregon 9, and Notre Dame round out the top 10. The top ACC team is Virginia at number 14. As far as the Miami Hurricanes, well, here's ESPN's Reese Davis talking to Booger McFarland about the Canes being ranked 18th.
This is a bit of a fall. Boog, you mentioned this right off the top of the show. Miami descending. They lost the game to Louisville with all the turnovers, and they lost SMU this past week.
And you can tell the committee's watching the game because even though they're a two-loss team and they have a couple of good wins, the fact that they are going down and descending, they're going to put them down. Even though they won the head-to-head against Notre Dame, Miami coming in at 18, a bit of a surprise.
I'll say, what the hell's going on is what I'm saying. The Hurricanes are 6-2, and they're ranked number 18. Notre Dame is 6-2 and lost to Miami, and they're ranked number 10. Who the hell's Notre Dame beaten? They haven't beaten anybody. USC? Good grief. This is a clear case of Notre Dame bias.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, Virginia, or not Virginia, but Louisville's a pretty good football team. And
SMU's not bad either.
SMU was in the playoff last year. They have the same quarterback. They're not performing well, but yeah, this a loss to Miami, a loss to Texas A&M, which looks it's a 1-point loss. I think they're getting credit for playing these games.
A loss to Miami. Miami is 8 spots below with the same record.
Yeah, the committee. I mean, I have given up the effort of trying to figure out how they come across with the rankings that they have. And all I can do is focus on how bad this playoff is going to be this year. I just hope that this thing shakes out better than where it stands right now. And I'll watch it and I'll be entertained by it. But nobody can tell me that this has been or will be an entertaining year of college football comparatively to some other years that we've had.
If the first round was held right now, it'd be Memphis at Georgia, Virginia at Ole Miss. That excite you? Notre Dame at BYU, and Oregon at Texas Tech.
Oregon at Texas Tech, I can get down with.
Yeah.
The other ones, I think I could just read the recap the next day on ESPN. Can't watch it anyway because ESPN and YouTube TV still have amended fences.
That is your highlights and your headlines.
I will not give in. I will not surrender. Plus, I have a new car payment that I need to pay. So we got that going for us. Up next, our daily source of motivation and inspiration, plus a text question about cloning. We'll get to that next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now online at 969thegame.com.
The weather outside is frightful, and you know what that means. The heat will be on before you know it. In fact, I have something to admit that at the Kravitz household, we may have already kicked it on over the last couple of days. But before you go dislodging all of that gunk in your vents, do yourself a favor and give Mills Air a call. Let them slide down that chimney and make sure that everything is right. When it comes to AC, I don't skimp on quality. I don't skimp on professionalism. That's why Mills Air is my go-to AC service provider, and they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners across this city, being relied upon day after day, week after week, year after year since 1992. Protect your investment and give yourself some peace of mind in the process. Call Leon and the crew to schedule your appointment and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
You know, fellas, I've been to those so-called men's clinics. You walk in, fill out a form, they jab you with a testosterone shot in the backside, take your money, and send you out the door. No real testing, no real follow-up, no real results. That's not health care. That's fast food medicine. But when I found Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness, I knew right away this place was different. It's led by Dr. John Carrazella, a Yale honors grad in molecular biophysics, a guy who spent 25 years as an orthopedic surgeon before dedicating his life to hormone replacement, sexual health, and age management. When I went in, they actually sat down with me, ran real labs, talked about my sleep, stress, recovery, sex life, everything. Then they built a plan just for me. Within weeks, my focus was sharper, my energy was back, and my sex drive returned. I finally felt like myself again. So don't settle for cookie cutter care. Go where the experts are. Head to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com, and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you.
On your ride this afternoon, you're going to run into some familiar delays starting to pile up in your typical areas on the major roadways on I-4 and Florida's Turnpike. There's also a couple accidents that might be affecting your ride here. All lanes are blocked. US 27 southbound at Citrus Grove Road. There's a crash blocking multiple lanes on Altamont Drive near Redbug Lake Road. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed
with this rare hologram trading card. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. eBay had it. They even had
perfect parts that fit my car.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics Data 5G Report United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select appliances like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. Check out the newest LG refrigerator with new mini craft ice straight from the dispenser. Shop Black Friday savings on select LG appliances, plus get free delivery now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid 11/5 through 12/3, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
that hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Sports on iHeartRadio.
Throws low and it's incomplete. The Jets are going to win it. It'll be victory formation.
The new NBA season, the NHL, huge college football rivalries, the start of college basketball, and of course the NFL.
Touchdown!
Don't miss a second of the greatest reality show on the planet. Sports, play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can join the conversation with real people.
At what point do you fire the guy?
Open the free iHeart app and search your favorite league to start listening.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You know, I'm not a full-blown minimalist, but I subscribe to some beliefs that essentially means purpose over abundance, adding more games. How about focusing on quality of games? How about we just focus on less flags? Maybe we fix the Pro Bowl. Maybe you make it to where kids can actually go to these games so that they create an alcohol-free section so that, little Johnny can go enjoy the game and he's not watching a fight break out in section 115.
I don't know what's gotten into you. You're the old man on this show.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz right here on AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and Orlando, Florida. Home base on FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Magic take a big L last night at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks, 127-112, the final last night, and of course it had to be in prime time. I swear I don't have the exact record in front of me. It feels like
themselves
since the Magic have become moderately relevant in the NBA, which is the last couple of seasons, and the NBA has thrown them a couple of bones and said, here are a couple of primetime games for the Magic fans out there. It feels like the Magic record is 0-30 in these games. It's what it feels like.
You know what the Magic are like when they get on prime time, like last night? They're like your 13-year-old dog when you don't take him out at just the right time. They just wet the floor. That's what the Magic did last night. They wet themselves.
Speaking of which, I have a story to tell you along those lines. But our game day coverage always powered by IBEW Local 606, proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. So you asked me the question yesterday, would I trade my dog and my cat, Jackson and Sloan, for $100,000? And I couldn't say yes to that fast enough.
Right.
Because my animals are obnoxious. I do love animals, but mine are not good. You get stuck with bad ones. And then because you're not an awful person, you have to kind of just ride it out until the end. Last year, it was on Christmas Day, my dog starts throwing up in the house. And of course, it's not just in like one neat spot in the corner. He's got to walk all across the house, and I'm cleaning up all these different spots, and then wouldn't eat. So the next day when things open back up, we take him to the vet, and they say, oh, he's got this big seed that fell from a tree outside of the house. So you get this big seed in his intestine, and if we don't remove it, he's going to die. And I said, okay, how much is that going to cost? And they said $5,000. And I said, listen, this is really sad that we're going to have to say bye to him like this. I didn't word it exactly like that, but that was essentially the vibe that I was giving off. And they go, he probably has another couple of years left. And they guilted me into paying them. It's such an easy out. He tried, and then now I'm out $5,000, and my dog's still here, but he's healthy. Anyway, time for our daily coach quote of the day.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
He would have probably passed that big seed. You should have just rolled the dice.
Sorry, kid. Next Christmas is canceled. Our daily source of motivation and inspiration, and today's is about discipline. The habits we repeat when no one is watching are what define us when everyone is. Be disciplined to be disciplined. Embrace the boring. Embrace the mundane.
Discipline is freedom.
Discipline is freedom.
Discipline is freedom.
And Bianchi's hot streak of adding on to my quote when he doesn't know what I'm going to say continues. Very impressive. But I think
that's Jocko's. Discipline is freedom. That's Jocko.
Well, I didn't think you invented it.
No, yeah.
The habits that we repeat when no one is watching are what define us when everybody is. I wouldn't want everyone to see what I do when nobody's watching, though. You know, some of that stuff can be embarrassing.
Yeah, and here's the thing about discipline, though. I mean, we're talking about self-discipline, obviously, not disciplining your kids or whatever. But it could fit into that. But self-discipline is freedom, because if you're disciplined enough to do the things that you should do, all right, it unshackles you. It unshackles you, because if you don't do the things you're supposed to do, you worry about them. They're on your mind. But if you just, I gave this example last week. If you get like when my alarm clock goes off in the morning, I used to press the snooze alarm like 5 times. Now I pop right up, get out of bed, get my work done. I'm already ahead. I've already got a win when I get out of bed.
Isn't it funny how that works? Where you have to fight against yourself. It's the biggest battle that we all face every single day. Is you versus the other part of your brain that's telling you, just take it easy. You don't have to do anything. Lay there.
Yeah, but you're in charge. You control your mind. Your mind doesn't control you.
Well, why does our mind work against us? I wonder sometimes. But
our mind's lazy.
This story from a non-lazy man, Tom Brady, is so bizarre. Brady recently revealed that his current dog, Junie, is a clone of his late dog, Lua, who died in December of 2023. That lucky bastards. The dogs were cloned by Colossal Biosciences, a biotech company that Brady is an investor in. But this sounds like some real rich, I've lost track of what to do with my money stuff. Anyway, they used blood collected prior to his original dog's death. So they took blood from his original dog, and then they used it to clone the dog and make a new dog that's the same dog. Mike,
it's not the same dog, though.
Well, isn't that what a clone is?
Supposed to, I mean, it's just probably looks the same, but
copy paste.
Does it have the same personality? Probably not. I don't know. I don't like this cloning stuff.
I don't either. Yeah. Why are you doing this? And for dogs, when dogs create litters that look exactly the same, there's no point in cloning a dog.
You know how you're supposed to have a new dog? A mama dog gives birth to baby dog, and you go get the puppy. All right. What happened to natural childbirth here? We're going to be cloning our kids now? Is that what we're doing? Cloning everything's fake now. AI. You don't even need to think anymore. You just let a computer think for you. And you don't even need to have sex anymore to have a kid. Just go get cloned. Good God. This is what's going on in this country. Cloning dogs. Shame on Tom Brady.
It is beyond creepy. But we ask you our text question today. If you could clone one thing, what would you clone? 50857. We want to know the answer.
I would clone all the money in my bank account, all right, and double it, just like that.
I think your cloned money would probably end up getting flagged. I think you'd be better off getting one gold brick and cloning the gold. I don't think that would be detected in the same way. I'm going to try and think of, obviously most people would want to clone themselves so that you could do two things at once.
Right.
You'd be in two different places, but that feels like such an easy answer. So I'm gonna have to think about this one for a minute. But what do you want to clone? 50857. Up next, the moves that we didn't see for the Miami Dolphins. OJ McDuffie makes his weekly visit to chat about the Dolphins' non-moves at the trade deadline and what they might be able to do against the Buffalo Bills. That is next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Have you noticed that little chill in the air the past couple of mornings? So maybe winter is actually coming. Even so, be sure not to leave your wealth management goals out in the cold. Trajan Wealth can help you with that. I used to wonder, do I really have enough to retire? Am I missing something? Then I sat down with Trajan Wealth. They gave me real answers, helped me roll over my old 401k and built a plan that made sense for me, not for you, not for him, for me. Their fiduciaries are advisors who put your needs first, and they treated me like family. Jeff Jr., a Marine veteran, leads Trajan Wealth with that always faithful mindset. In a world full of volatility, elections, global unrest, market swings, tariffs, it's comforting to know I've got a team in my corner. Don't leave your retirement plan out in the cold. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
I'm a beer fanatic, so I don't settle for anything less than the best. And the folks at Hourglass Brewing deliver quality, consistency, everything I'm looking for in a good beer. With that neighborhood charm at their 2 Orlando locations, Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery from the same one that cranks out Zoneheads 35 once per year. But it's more than that. They crank out the hits on the daily. 25-plus Hourglass beers on tap every single day. Stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wines, seltzers, ciders, something for everybody. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their friendly staff. Hourglass is a welcoming watering hole for the entire Orlando community, and they have a location right near downtown Orlando as well, on top of the one right around the corner from me in Longwood. This isn't mass-produced. This is craft. Fresh ingredients, local pride, and a taste that you can actually savor. So next time you need to unwind, skip the ordinary and raise a glass to the extraordinary. Raise a glass to Hourglass Brewing.
At Farmers Insurance, we often wonder, why would you buy a top-of-the-line smartphone only to protect it with the cheapest case? Would you invest thousands in a home reno but use the cheapest electrical wiring? And to apply that common sense further, why would you ever compromise on the quality of your insurance? The answer is simple. You wouldn't. If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings. Get a quote today at farmers.com.
We are Farmers.
Underwritten by Farmers, Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges, or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
It's International Diamond Center's biggest and last store-wide sale of the year. Save up to 40% on virtually everything, or get 3-year zero-interest financing. Incredible savings November 14th through 16th, only at International Diamond Center.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give and receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our Cigar of the Week. And man, this one was a brand new one for me, and it knocked my socks off. And when you hear about this deal, you are going to run to coronacigar.com and order a box. It's the Villager do Brazil Maduro Toro. Do Brazil means of Brazil in Portuguese. And man, do you get a great cigar here. Rich, earthy, a little spicy, a lot of oak in there as well. Estate-grown Brazilian tobaccos with this beautiful Maduro leaf wrapper that is absolutely delicious. Real medium, real approachable, and very good. 55% off. That means this box is only $89.95, and you can only get it online. It's the Villager do Brazil Maduro Toro, and it is your Cigar of the Week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Ice Cube is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm curious. I was reading some stuff on you, and it says even when you were pursuing your music career, you still attended a college and got an architectural drafting degree or something. Or
definitely not a degree. It's more like a certificate.
Okay,
but I did complete the course.
But it was your sort of your fallback.
It was my fallback, man. You know, we
How
was doing
important is that for young people?
Dirty rhymes. You know, they was hardcore. We didn't know anybody was gonna hear that outside of our neighborhood. So I had to have something to fall back on.
Do you tell kids today to have a fallback plan?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nothing stands without a plan. So you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's a bar.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Happy Wednesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecasts. And for today, we are going to be expecting temperatures to be on the warmer side. It will, though, feel closer to what's typical for this time of year with a high of 82 degrees in Orlando. As we head throughout the next couple of days, we'll stay mostly dry, only a small chance of a stray shower or two as we head into late tonight and early tomorrow. Otherwise, temperatures will stay right around the upper 70s and low 80s before we head into Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
You can depend on Florida farmers. Our farm is where we live and work. It's where we raise our families and provide for yours. When you shop for Florida-grown fruits and vegetables, look for local. Choose Fresh from Florida, the homegrown brand of Florida farmers.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Another week of Dolphins football has come and gone. Let's recap all the action with the legend himself. Presented by the Flynn Law Office.
Oh my, Rick, what a beautiful play. O.J. McDuffie, the number one pick.
Here's O.J. McDuffie.
Miami has a Dolphin, the greatest football team.
Miami Dolphins legend O.J. McDuffie joins us as we wrap up another week of Dolphins football. Unfortunately, another L that they took this time at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. This segment brought to you by Trey Flynn Law. Your free case evaluation, just a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. We won't.
But let me start. Do you guys still think the Dolphins are playoff contenders?
Sorry, Mike.
What?
Yeah, you're breaking up, Mike.
I can't hear anything. It's a bad connection here. We got a bad connection, man.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Krabs.
I guess I'll start there, OJ. It was dependent on them beating the Ravens. That's the thing that Mike always leaves out when he rags on me for this take, was that I said they are in playoff contention if they beat Baltimore. They didn't, and clearly we are on to next season, OJ.
Yes, we are. Sounds like a little earlier than normal. Which is we can get our vacation plans together. I think a little sooner than we used to be able to. Man, tough loss, man. I mean, these guys, going into that game, of course, Mike McDaniel was 0-4 on Thursday night. Now he's 0-5, and the Ravens seem like they come down here and own us, and they owned our stadium. It was crazy loud, a lot of purple in the stadium. Unfortunately, and that's just, I guess, part of when your team is not playing very well, man. So yeah, bad loss. There were some positives, I guess, if you can look at some of the things that happened there. But damn, anytime you go have a home game against another AFC opponent and get, beat down pretty bad to crib, it's a tough loss for sure.
I heard Tua bring that up in the post game where he said that it was really loud. He had communication issues because of how loud Ravens fans were. I understand that he's got sort of an adversarial role right now with Dolphins fans, and I'm sure that life is not easy for him outside of the paychecks that he gets to cash in Miami, because not a lot of people support him at the moment. But is that really the time and the place to make that excuse? It just felt like a weak move calling out the fan base for not occupying the stadium.
Now tell me, Brent, are you surprised that he did that? You're not surprised, are you?
He's become salty and resentful. So no, I'm not surprised at all.
Every time he steps to the podium, you're like, all right, what's he gonna say today? I'm like always worried about him. And I know he gets some, and Nolan, who's head of the communications and PR, she's like, I'm sure she gives him some notes and some things to say and not say possibly, but the blame a visiting crowd on crowd noise, no matter what, that's a problem. And maybe that's on them. Maybe shame on them for not practicing silent count for a home game. And shame on some of our Dolphin fans for not showing up or giving their tickets to Ravens fans. But hell, win some games and people won't do that. People will be in their seats. They'll be rooting you on, cheering you on, instead of having people go on these, third-party markets and buying your tickets up like these people did to these guys. And I'm going to tell you, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably a 50-50 crowd. But a 50-50 crowd still shouldn't prevent you from being able to have an operation that worked on Thursday last week.
OJ, I'm sure you knew Chris Greer very well. Obviously, he's gone as the GM of the Dolphins. What do you think what was his downfall besides the fact that the Dolphins are just losing right now?
I think it boils down to Tua. I think Tua is the reason that other guys could possibly lose their job. I think that Chris Greer, was adamant to our owner about Tua and, not only drafting him, but also about, extending him. And I think that, when you say that to the owner and they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to somebody and it's not working out, and it obviously has not worked out, that's probably, where's the final straw. Because I know that, Stephen Ross and Chris Greer were really close. I know that he loves and respects Chris, but it's about some of the guys, some of the main decisions they make. And when the money's being talked about, it's not the player that's making minimum salary, on the roster that he's upset about. It's the guy that's making the most in Dolphins history, and I think that might have perturbed him a little bit. And I think that I was shocked that both of them made it. I mean, that both of them didn't get canned after that. Not that I'm rooting for anybody losing their job, but it seemed like, if you lose the GM, then, hell, you got 10 days to get ready for the next game. I thought Mike would have been right next to him. But once we only saw it with Chris, there's no way that, he would do them in separate situations. You think he'd do them both at the same time.
Also, what did you think of the Jalen Phillips trade? And there are a lot of the, quote unquote NFL insiders who are surprised that the Dolphins didn't make more trades. Were you surprised?
Yeah, you know what? I knew we were going to start, emptying the cupboard. I did. I thought there'd be more. I understand that there would have been more, but they were asking too much for some other guys. The Bradley Chubbs and the Jalen Waddles, they were asking way too much from other teams. Other teams were willing to pull the trigger, but not at the price that the Dolphins were asking. And I've also heard that, some other GMs are saying that our team has got a nice, it's doing well. It's just not playing well. And so they want to keep some of those assets for the next GM that comes in. So I hate losing Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is a great guy in the community, solid player. He's missed out on a few big plays that he could have made for us that would have changed the outcome of games for us, and that's been his biggest thing. And his health has been a problem, man. But he's just such a great dude, man. But just could not finish plays, couldn't get quarterbacks to the ground. We saw what happened with Hubbard. We saw it happen again with Lamar Jackson. Just tough luck. But hell, we get a 3rd round pick for him. He's going to a team that's obviously a contender. And, I'm happy for him. Sad that not having got here in South Florida anymore.
Talking to OJ McDuffie, our weekly Dolphins chat or recap from last week and a look ahead. Let's do that right now. It's round 2 against the Buffalo Bills. And no matter where the Dolphins are not seated in the upcoming postseason, you still want to beat your rivals. This team played Buffalo well in that first matchup. Do you think they'll be able to do it again post trade deadline and with Buffalo rolling, Buffalo coming off of a big emotional win against Kansas City?
Yeah, Buffalo is rolling, and I hope they are still in that emotional high and they don't come out here ready to play in the first couple quarters and we can get a little bit of a lead and hope that Josh Allen doesn't bring them back. Always tough, man. The division is tough no matter what. Every team in the division is going to play you hard, and we've been competitive against all the teams in the division so far, even beating the Jets. So, that familiarity is always going to be there. So it's going to be obviously a tough battle. Buffalo Bills are the cream of the crop when it comes to NFL teams, and of course, Josh Allen. My question now is, without, Jalen Phillips, and who knows what the status for Chop Robinson is going to be, who's going to play defensive end for us, who's going to try to get Josh Allen to the ground, who's going to make some plays for us. That's going to be very interesting. But I'm always been a true believer of any given Sunday, but this is, come on, this is yeoman. This is going to be tough for us to win this football game.
A lunch pail game for the Miami Dolphins. Well, we're glad that you didn't get traded at the deadline, OJ, because we love bringing you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for still having me. I appreciate it.
Till the bitter end, OJ, till the bitter end. Dolphins analyst OJ McDuffie, always appreciate the weekly visit. His attendance here on the show presented by Trey Flynn Law, board certified both in criminal trials at the state and federal level. That's Trey Flynn Law, 407-557-6350. Up next, your texts, your talkbacks, and a question that a lot of Magic fans are starting to ask themselves. We'll get to that next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
And the only thing worse than betting on the Miami Dolphins is a bet that is ruined by an injury. And on Hard Rock Bet, those days are over, at least in the first half. They're introducing injury insurance now available for your pro football player props. So if your player goes down in the first half and they don't return, you'll get your bet back as a bonus bet. Try it out over on Hard Rock Bet. The NBA season rolling right along as well. Loaded card tonight. A ton of games. I like the Rockets -7.5 against those sketchy Grizzlies. They've got odds boosts. They've got live in-game bets, props, teasers, and more. The app is a game changer for sports fans. Hard Rock Bet sits right there on my home screen. You can jump in right along. The app is safe, slick, reliable, updated to the second, and payouts are lightning quick. Download the app and let's cash some tickets together. Head to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888 admit it.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
Traffic starting to crawl on I-4 westbound before the beach line. There's slowdowns starting to pile up getting through the city there. All lanes are blocked. US 27 southbound at Citrus Grove Road. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways. The roadways are getting busy this afternoon, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Out here, holidays are all about family. You want every gift to be one they'll use and love, and you want a good deal. At Tractor Supply, you'll find toys, clothes, mini bikes, power tools, even gift cards. Something for everyone on your list. And new deals each week. Unique finds at the season's best prices. Make their holidays merry with gifts from Tractor Supply, where you'll find everything for your holidays out here.
I don't know about you, but I can't stand when I see creepy crawlies all over my house. That's why I have to have a pest control provider that doesn't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. You can keep your home protected from the bugs all year long. Get yourself a termite bond while you're at it. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi from Game On sent you by. Get 10% off of your initial service. Burn Pest is a family-run operation right here in our backyard in Central Florida. Go and find them online easily, and don't stress about these pests anymore. It's burnpest.com.
Buying a house or selling yours? The Nickley Group makes it as easy as ABC. And 1, 2... Oh, and fast, too, because the Nickley Group can get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today. Just visit thenickley.com.
Call Nickley. At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
It's a great song. It's a song about good mail. Duke's mail. It'll make any dish say. Get Duke's mail in store. It's got twang.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
We just have one program that's perennially great in this state because we've lost that, completely lost it.
Oh, we lost that
And we had hope coming into this season. I think you had DJ Lagway
about 10 years ago.
Felt like we were getting it back.
When?
How about earlier in the year when I was predicting that Miami would be in the national championship game? What about you before the season saying that DJ Lagway would win the Heisman Trophy, or after FSU beat Alabama, you couldn't stop singing the praises of Gus Malzahn? No.
Okay,
you don't get to walk all that back now.
Those are just overreaction predictions.
No, that was real, genuine excitement.
It was excitement for like a week, but that doesn't mean we were back.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Touchdown! The UCF Knights are heard here.
This is Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. Way to rebound from that commercial break, guys. Now back to Bianchi and Kravitz.
Who was that? Who was that guy?
That was Jonathan Isaac. He plays at 8 minutes a night for the Orlando Magic. You can win $1,000 just for listening to us. It's 96.9 The Game's bonus bucks Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your shot to score $1,000 just for listening to this show. Listen for the keyword and then enter it on our website at 969thegame.com. Speaking of which, Mike, I put up an article today. Felt like our web page was going a little dry there. I have not done a great job the last couple of days of updating it properly. So today, I got one up there if you want to go and check this out. It is Lane Kiffin to the Dolphins, a little clickbait, but why it makes sense to some. Go and check that out. The more I think about it, the more I don't hate it, but I'm also not sure that it's that different from the guy that they have in right now. Go make up your own mind on that. We'll also ask a poll question about it tomorrow because tomorrow is Polapalooza Day. You can text in 50857 or hit us up in the Rage Cage if you want to have your voice heard on the show. We asked the question earlier based on Tom Brady cloning his dog, which is so creepy. What would you want to clone if you could? I thought of my answer. What? I want to clone Josh Allen and then sign him to a contract with the Miami Dolphins. That's what I would do. Give me 2 Josh Allens, both in the AFC East. That's my answer.
I guess Josh Allen will help the Dolphins. I just wonder if the Dolphins are. How long has it been since they won a playoff game? 25 years? Yeah.
I actually just saw the post. Joe Shad, your good friend in the media, put up the post, a picture of Jay Fiedler, and it said the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game, December of 2000. And you know who was in attendance? A young and optimistic Brandon Kravitz as the Dolphins were running up and down the field on Peyton Manning's Indianapolis Colts. That's how long ago it was.
Your Aunt Agnes loved the good Jewish quarterback, didn't she? Huh?
Jay Fiedler's beyond underrated, Mikey. He's the matzo ball soup of great quarterbacks in the National Football League. Coming up next, a Jamal Mosley topic that you have all been waiting for. 60 seconds.
Wouldn't wish that, just on, one of our captains or even just your worst enemy. I don't wish that on any man. And, Tucker is in a better place. But again, you just gotta. Next question, please. So I wouldn't wish that
The premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. Game On in Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. It is Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz. Happy hump day to all. The premier sports talk radio show in the state of Florida. Light us up on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. Enter the Rage Cage as well on the iHeartRadio talkback. I bet the Texans wish they could clone C.J. Stroud, speaking of cloning quarterbacks, because he will be out this week with a concussion. Davis Mills stepping in. That is a huge relief to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I know they won last week, but on the ropes against a bad Las Vegas Raiders team in overtime. And then you have to go, after playing 5 quarters, on the road to Houston, where they have arguably the best defense in the NFL. And now they get the relief of facing Davis Mills. So perhaps a free win for the Jacksonville Jaguars if they can get their act
Look,
together.
they're playing the Texans. There's no free wins against the Texans. The Texans will give the Jaguars all they want and then some. Believe me, I know.
Davis Mills is not the worst.
I've watched the Texans destroy the Jaguars many times over the last few years.
Davis Mills has a hard time moving the football, but that defense, if they will probably be able to turn Trevor Lawrence over a couple of times. So they will put Davis Mills
You think?
in some advantageous situations. The Magic lost again last night, a blowout at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks, a primetime loss, no less, which I'm really getting sick of. Hard to wrap my head around just how bad this team has been early on this season. It felt like they were turning things around. I even uttered the words, the Magic are back, after they beat the Hornets and the Wizards, and I realized I know what that sounds like now. Okay, I thought that was going to be the confidence builder, that there was a slump buster, if you will, and then you take your newfound confidence into tougher competition, and then you win those games by smaller margins, and then you build off of that. That's kind of what I was projecting moving forward, but that is not what happened. First, let's hear from head coach Jamal Mosley as he explains the team's shortcomings.
Turnovers. No, the defensive effort wasn't there. We let the offense dictate our defense. That's on me. I didn't do a great job of getting these guys prepared for this game tonight. Understanding how they were held so handsy and so physical, knowing that they were going to try to turn us over. I've got to do a better job with this group to let them know that.
And he took it on the chin. It's one of the first times that I've heard him admit that something is wrong and that he is the problem. And I'm not saying that Jamal Mosley isn't self-aware, but typically he tries to downplay the team's misfortunes over the last couple of years, or he'll do the coach cop-out. We'll take a look at the film. I'll tell you later what the issues are. We're not going to do that right now. Or he'll just tell you what's wrong, and he'll tell you what went wrong in the game. But that sort of, I'm going to take all of the criticism, I'm going to take all of the blame, is not something that you often hear and from Jamal Mosley. And I think that is Mosley feeling the weight of expectations. And fans, we know how fans are, Mike, but when it comes to Jamal Mosley, they are relentless with this guy online. Every single game for the last year plus, I have seen this. And so I thought, before we give our opinions on this, I would read you some of the commentary that I plucked from Twitter, which I know can be a dangerous place.
Okay.
One quote says, "You were once a good dude, so now all of a sudden, because the Magic are losing, he's not a good dude." I'll stop interjecting. "And now you need to leave and go establish a culture in Washington. Rest easy, my friend." That's one of the comments. Another one said, "The Magic are the worst coached team in the NBA. There's no reason this group should be performing this badly. Jamal Mosley should resign immediately. What a terrible offense and no progress since the season opener." And finally, I pulled one that said, "People will look for any excuse to defend Jamal Mosley simply because he is, quote, a good guy and well-respected. When can we get back to judging someone in a competitive position on accomplishments and ability instead of personality and likability. So that is the commentary that is out there. It's everywhere you look. Fans are looking at Jamaal Mosley and saying that you, sir, are the problem. Is it fair to throw Jamaal Mosley under the bus given how bad the Magic have looked early on this season?
Well, I said it. I wrote it before the season. Every coach in the NBA, other than Eric Spoelstra and probably Steve Kerr, are on the hot seat. I mean, we see that. We saw what happened to Tom Thibodeau last year, even when the Knicks were in the conference finals. We saw what happened to Mike Budenholzer and all these other Michael Malone, all these other coaches who've won championships, for crying out loud, and they get fired. So is it fair to criticize Jamaal Mosley? Yeah, because every NBA coach, again, is on the hot seat. We know that. Jamaal Mosley knows he's on the hot seat. He even said it before the season. Pressure is a privilege. That was his quote. So, but to essentially give up on Jamaal Mosley and give up on this team 8 games into the season is ridiculous. I'm reading the text line. Mosley's cooked. He's done. Stop it. We're 8 games into the season. The Magic are 1 win behind the Cavaliers. They were picked consensus to win the East. Are Cleveland fans calling for their coach to be fired too? Probably. I don't know. Cleveland's got 4 wins. The Magic have 3. The Knicks have 4 wins. The Magic have 3. Those are your quote-unquote top 3 teams in the East. All of them aren't playing well right now. They're playing mediocre right now. Is what's the team I'm thinking of?
You got
who's
this,
at the
Mike.
top? The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Are the Chicago Bulls going to win the East because they're 6-1 right now? No, they're not. Okay, they're just not. This is not. You have to give it some time. This is ridiculous.
What this is, in my view, is fans that had already made up their mind on Jamaal Mosley and are now using this early season swoon as an excuse to just pitchfork his way out of town. I don't know why you almost want to see this man fail, but it seems like it's the same sort of people again and again. Or just folks that are so unsettled and lack so much patience for how a season is going to progress that they just need somebody to take the fall in order to feel better about themselves. I think it's sad. And I will say this. I do have a hard time being completely objective when it comes to Jamaal Mosley because I really do like the individual. I've had a lot of run-ins with Mosley over the years. You will not find a more friendly, accommodating coach in the world of sports than Jamaal Mosley. And I want to see that man succeed. So I'm not going to sacrifice my honesty and integrity because of the feeling that I have towards the person. But I'm also not going to be in the front of the line asking for his dismissal. You're never going to catch me at the front of that line. I might have to echo sentiments from the back of the line if we get there. But this to me is much more about they tried to fit a new formula into this season of the way they wanted to play. I don't think it's working. I think Jamaal Mosley is smart enough to know that. And then it comes down to, are you so stubborn that you're going to stick with your new idea, or are you going to go back? And more than anything else, Mike, like every other team that you just detailed, it's not really about the coach. It's about the players. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner have to be great every single night if this team is going to be successful. They have to be superstars. Last night, they weren't, and that's part of the reason why this team failed.
Well, maybe also it's that, and I tried to state this before the season, when everybody's picking the Magic, maybe they'll go to the finals. Maybe they'll do this. Yeah, their floor is the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. And I'm like, what have they ever done? Maybe the local media, the national media. I sat next to the AP national basketball writer, Tim Reynolds, at the opener against the Heat. And he's like, this team's going to be playing in June, talking about the Magic. I'm like, oh, really? This team's going to be playing in June when they've never even won a playoff series? I mean, give me a break here. Maybe we just overrated how good they are based on the fact, if they had their full allotment of players and projected, maybe then they're going to be this good. Maybe they're just not that good. Maybe they are just a playoff team.
But it is confounding that you have teams that are, like you just explained, your view of the Magic of, all right, guys, maybe we should calm down. What have they done? What have the Bulls done? What has this version of the Philadelphia 76ers with Embiid in and out of the lineup done? What have the San Antonio Spurs done? All of those teams have been phenomenal to start this season. I think it was fair to have expectation coming into the season based on what this team has been for the last 2 years and what they're supposed to be now.
Talk to me in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Can we give it a month? Can we give it, I don't know, 20 games? Is that too much? It's not like this is the Doc Rivers Magic and they're 1-16, okay?
But see, this is the divide. I want to be clear so that it doesn't sound to some like we're just yelling at each other for the sake of yelling at each other. I don't think Jamal Mosley should be fired. But I do think that Magic fans have a legitimate reason to feel a sense of worry based on the way the team has looked early on this season. And Mike is saying that you should have never overrated them to begin with, and you all should calm down and shut the hell up.
I'm also saying this. If the Magic don't make the playoffs or in one and done in the playoffs, then Jamal Mosley will be fired, okay? We all know that. He knows that because that's not the expectation. Jeff Weltman said, win now. Here's your team. We spent all this money, the DeVos family. Jamal Mosley knows he has to perform this year. He's no dummy, for crying out loud. So if they are a disappointment at the end of the season, then yeah, he's going to get fired.
And I think that's the way. I'm with you 100%. And that's when we can have that conversation. So we understand that all of you, or a lot of you, have already decided that this man is on the hot seat. Give it till the end of the season, and then we can talk. I don't know a lot of teams that are winning titles, firing their coach 8 games into the season. That's not a way to win championships. Up next, I've got the takes. Bianchi's got the grades. We'll do grade the take next here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now at 969thegame.com.
The holidays are coming, and you know what that means? The Chevy Red Tag event is officially here. And if you've been waiting to upgrade your truck, your moment has arrived, baby. This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. And right now at Don Mealy Chevrolet out in Claremont, you can lease a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT. That's the one I want for just $409 a month, 36 months, or finance with 0% APR for 36 months. That's right. It's the legendary Silverado dependability, advanced features, and the red tag savings you don't want to miss. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet or shop anytime at dmchevy.com, because when the red tags are gone, the deals are gone. Chevy, together, let's drive.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida, and he joins me now to chat about the latest in real estate. How do you help buyers and sellers compete and win in this market?
Very similar ways for both. I consider us to be in a buyer's market right now where prices are slowly sliding back to reality. And so I tell buyers, instead of coming in with like a super low offer to try and lowball a seller, let's give them what they're asking for, but let's ask for some concessions back back, and we can use that money to buy down your rate, save, $150, $200 a month on your mortgage. It's the same on the seller side. I tell them we have to price things appropriately. I'll tell you what to repair, what not to repair, but then I also set the expectation of we are in a buyer's market. So buyers are going to be asking for some of that money back to help them buy down the rate. As long as those expectations are set from the start, I think it's pretty easy to succeed in today's market.
When it comes to real estate, experience matters. Trust Kevin Krager to guide you right along. Search him by name on Facebook or call him 407-702-4635.
The roadways are getting busy, and so are emergency crews. Clearing up a couple accidents around the area here. I-4 westbound at Conroy Road. The right lane's blocked. There's a crash off to the shoulder getting cleared up on I-4 westbound past Lake Mary Boulevard. The left lane's blocked on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at All-American Boulevard. And look out for emergency crews on the roadways on US 27 at Citrus Grove Road. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
The biggest and final store-wide sale of the year at International Diamond Center is coming next weekend, November 14th through 16th. 3 days of unprecedented savings, up to 40% off. Eternity bands, hoops, pendants, bracelets, even ready-to-wear engagement rings. Save up to 40% or get 3 years zero-interest financing. This is the event you wait all year for. Colored gemstone and designer fashion jewelry is included. Best prices all year. It's November 14th through 16th at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall of Millennium. Unapproved credit.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give and receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
As football season continues on and basketball season is taking off, there's no better place to get in on the action than BetOnline, your number one source for all things sports. BetOnline gives you more ways to play with the latest odds, breaking news, live scores, and in-game action so you never miss a moment. From pro and college football, basketball, cage fighting, and hockey futures, BetOnline has you covered. And don't forget the VIP program with exclusive level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Head to BetOnline today, because at BetOnline, the game starts here. Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything? Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm Cal Penn, and on my new podcast, Here We Go Again, we'll take today's trends and headlines and ask, why does history keep repeating itself? Each week, I'm calling up my friends like Bill Nye, Lily Singh, and Pete Buttigieg to talk about everything from the space race to psychedelics.
You're a citizen of Earth, Cal.
My goal here is for you to listen and feel a little better about the future. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Here We Go Again with Cal Penn, and listen.
All right, guys, let's get real. You know that feeling when your body just doesn't respond the way it used to, whether it's at the gym, on the golf course, or in the bedroom? You feel like you've lost a step. That's why I want to tell you about shockwave therapy at Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This isn't some magic pill or gimmick. It's advanced acoustic energy that increases blood flow, repairs tissue, and restores function naturally. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. It's used by pro athletes to heal faster and perform stronger. And now it's helping guys like us feel younger again in the gym and in the bedroom. And ladies, it's not just for men. Women are seeing amazing results too. Better comfort, sensitivity, and overall confidence. So if pain or performance issues are slowing you down, it's time to get back in the game with the team that gets it right. Visit hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com, and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. They say it pays to listen to Game On. How much are we talking? Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Hot off the text line at 50857, off the heels of our Jamal Mosley conversation, we said, breathe, give it some time. I'm with Mike. I think we argued in a healthy, productive way, but ultimately landed on the same opinion, which is he'll be judged on his success or failure at the end of the season. What does it do for your team to fire your head coach?
Because people are so impatient and so I don't even, it's almost like fans root for their team to fail so their coach will be fired. And I have no idea why. I mean, we just got a text from somebody who says the Magic have been, and I'm not even going to say the word because it's the new slang for being bad. The Magic have been ASS for 3 years now. They won 47 games 2 years ago. They came out of nowhere and were one of the surprise teams in the league. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
It's crazy. I mean, they went 500 last year, and their top three players basically never played together the entire season. It's crazy. You're
making up scenarios. They've sucked for 3 years. No, they haven't.
Right.
They won 47 games 2 years ago.
It's forced to negativity is what I would like to term that. It's just you admit to yourself, if that's your opinion, that you are a negative person that looks at the sports you follow through that negative gray lens, because this has not been a bad basketball team. They've had consistent issues with shooting, obviously. I just really should. There's another text about this to counter your argument about the Magic giving more time, that this isn't a new problem. Their shooting issues have been present for multiple seasons, Mosley's entire tenure. Well, like it's Jamal Mosley's fault that the team isn't making shots? That just doesn't make any, like Mike Malone is going to step in and all of a sudden Anthony Black is just going to be a sniper from the perimeter. Do you really think it works like that? And that's not me saying that Jamal Mosley should be the forever Magic coach, but if they have the same players and a new coach, the new coach is going to deal with the same issues from 3-point range. These guys are wide open when they shoot their threes.
If the Magic have a bunch of players that can't shoot and they end up losing this year, that's not Jamal Mosley's fault. That's Jeff Weltman's fault. He's the guy who went out and got the players that can't shoot. Okay?
Right.
So we're 8 games in. I can't believe that people want to fire the coach. I mean, these are like Gator fans a year into Billy Napier's tenure. And you know what? I guess they were right because, 3 years later, Billy Napier ended up getting fired. But I don't know.
But just let it breathe. He's the head coach that the team rolled into this season with, and you just have to let it play out. You just have to let it play out. You have every right, and you should be disappointed and frustrated with the way that this team has played, but that doesn't mean that there has to be an action that then coincides with that disappointment. I think that's the thing that sports fans have become so addicted to, this idea that the second I feel uncomfortable, something has to be done about it. No, that's not the way this works. It sucks. The team doesn't look good right now. But what are you going to do? Go make another trade?
It's all
fire your coach? None of it. All it's going to do is make you feel like it's going to make you feel good for 2 seconds. That is a quick fix, not a long-term solution.
It's all part of the society that we live in, the immediate gratification. I want this now. Let the season progress. I mean, get 8 games, 3 and 5. Okay. How many games have the Cavaliers won? 4? 4 games? Aren't they supposed to be the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Cavaliers?
That they are.
Won 4.
Yep. They are 4-3 right now. I think part of it is the way that it has looked too. I mean, you can play we're not looking at who the Cavs have played to this point, and there's a lot of factors that go into the record that you have. The Cavs are 4-3. They have a better point differential than what the Magic have right now, but it hasn't looked good, and it is consistent issues. I understand the frustration, but to make some quick action about it isn't going to solve the problem. I don't think firing Jamal Mosley all of a sudden makes the Magic better 3-point shooters. I said this at the end of last season. I said that the problem that the Magic have is bigger than just one player, and that was, even though, look, I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm a Kool-Aid drinker when it comes to the Magic, but when we were in the middle portion of the offseason, my stance on the Magic all the way through was they should go get one sub-level superstar they can add to the roster. Desmond Bane was their choice at making that move, but one player is not going to fix their issues. So they went and they got Desmond Bane to help with the offense, and then one player isn't going to take you from 30th in the NBA in shooting and scoot you up to 15th. That's not the way this works. It has to be it's more systemic than that. Tyus Jones not being good is a major problem as well. He's not as high profile a name, but he was the other guy that's getting minutes, by the way, that was supposed to help this team be better on offense. He hasn't been good on offense, and he deteriorates the defense when he's out there. That's as much a problem as anything else. So I think when it comes down to it, you mentioned the front office. We love Jeff Weltman too on this show, but that seems to be the bigger issue than the coaching itself.
I'm not going to have this conversation with fans who are just out there. I'm not going to have this conversation. Somebody just texted in, so the Hawks are a better team than the Magic? No, they won the game last night. The Raptors beat the Cavaliers. The Celtics beat the Cavaliers without Jason Tatum. It's the NBA, freaking people. The NBA.
Mike,
you don't win every game. You do not win every game.
It was Mike Bianchi that taught me years ago, you can't judge an NBA season on a snapshot. And right now we are snapshotting Magic fans. Time to take a breath and calm down. Okay, we went into reaction mode. I love when we do that, but now we're behind a segment. We're going to grade the take coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Man, I got to have it. It's a one of a kind. Now I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold to Bianchi on the radio show. 96.9 on the dial, I know. Him and BK won't tell you no lies. Man, I just love those Orlando guys. Sold. Game on the radio.
Oh, you guys got us all fired up today. You know what else has me fired up? The Hard Rock Bet app. The NBA season rolling right along. We've got a loaded card tonight. It's like double-digit games to be played out there on the screens. I like the Rockets -7.5 against those sketchy Grizzlies. I even like the Lakers tonight. They're without Austin Reeves, who's been balling, but perhaps the Spurs fall back down to earth. Find the value that you love over on the Hard Rock Bet app. They've got boosted odds, live in-game bets, props, teasers, parlays. There's more on this app than you'll even know what to do with. And Hard Rock Bet, for me, it's right there on the home screen. I jump right in when I feel like I have found that proper value. Jump in right along. The app is safe, slick, reliable, updated to the second, and payouts are lightning quick. Download the app and let's cash some tickets together. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT IT.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yingling Traditional Lager. Brewed by the same family for nearly 200 years, it's a crisp amber lager with a bold, smooth flavor that's perfect for game day. Whether you're cheering from the stands or watching from your favorite bar, Yingling is the taste of tradition. Yingling, legends stand the test of time.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 407-204-0300. That's 407-204-0300.
Annuities, not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
Is it just me, or is it almost time to throw the heater on? Before you do that, please make sure you have your AC checked out by the best in the business. Of course, I'm talking about Mills Air. And the bottom line is, for me, I don't skimp on quality and professionalism when it comes to something as important as my AC provider. Mills Air doesn't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. They're the MVP of AC technicians. Call Leon and the crew, schedule your appointment, and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
At Farmers Insurance, we often wonder, why would you buy a top-of-the-line smartphone only to protect it with the cheapest case? Would you invest thousands in a home reno but use the cheapest electrical wiring? And to apply that common sense further, why would you ever compromise on the quality of your insurance? The answer is simple. You wouldn't. If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings. Get a quote today at farmers.com.
We are Farmers.
Underwritten by Farmers, Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges, or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. With a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey, get in.
What? Who are you?
I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks, handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Trivia question today for the Hardy ticket. The song All My Rowdy Friends was remade to be the Monday Night Football song for a few seasons. In the actual song, what was the thing that Hank Williams got on his blue jeans at the beginning of the song? Mike, do you know the answer?
I got ketchup on my blue jeans. I just burned my hand. Lord, it's hard to be a bachelor man. I got girls that can cook. I got girls that can clean. I got girls that can do anything in between. Gotta get ready to make everything right. All my rowdy friends are coming over today.
You did not miss one word.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Magic guard Desmond Bain says he wasn't trying to spike the ball off a Hawks player during last night's loss. Bain was ejected when officials disagreed. UCF football, they're prepping for their annual space game. It's Friday night against Houston. The Knights are 8-0 when they celebrate their NASA ties. And Ohio State leads the initial college football playoff rankings and are followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, then Alabama. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810, Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810. Or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
We appreciate everybody that has chimed in on the text line. I had to minimize that screen because all I want to do is react to everything that you guys are throwing at us. But we'll stay on the rails for another couple of segments here. This segment brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware. 14 Central Florida locations, including the brand new one that's in downtown Windermere, your neighborhood home maintenance expert. Go and check them out, toolsacehardware.com. I've got the takes. Bianchi's got the grades. Mike, get your ruler out, your number 2 pencil, your abacus. We're headed back to school. Time to grade the take. You are grading on both quality and overall heat, perhaps a little bit of accuracy and uniqueness in there as well. You're the professor. I'm not going to tell you how to grade. The magic of... Should I even do a magic one? Nah, I'm going to skip that. A lot of magic talk today. Miami, the Hurricanes, left out in the cold of the college football playoff ranking. Notre Dame might not have the resume that Miami does on first glance, but they deserve to be ranked ahead of Miami because they've been better more recently, and recency matters in rankings.
That's not a very hot take. That's about a D as far as heat goes. Accuracy, it's that's a bad take. Miami beat them head to head. That's all else being equal, and their schedules are pretty equal. Their records are the same. All else being equal, you have to go to head, and Miami beat Notre Dame head to head. You get a D- for that take.
We like to start soft, see if we can build from there. At the end of the season, the Miami Dolphins will hire a new general manager. That's not a take. That's a fact because they fired theirs. Their new GM should opt to trade Tua along with a second-round pick so that another team in the NFL will take him off of their hands. He doesn't want to be there, and they don't want him, and this is how they need to get it done.
Heat, that's A for Heat. Quality, accuracy. First of all, nobody's going to even if you throw in something with Tua, they're not going to, teams aren't going to do that. They're not just going to take on a fragile, right now, bad, not confident, unconfident quarterback and pay him, $50 million next year? No, nobody's going to do that, even if you throw in Jalen Waddle with him, okay? So you get an A for Heat. You get a D for accuracy and quality. I'll give you a B-. I'm
going to spend most of the offseason trying to convince you that this is what the Dolphins need to do.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying no, they would still have no takers.
Get a team like the New Orleans Saints, who right now projected to have the number 1 pick. They probably land there. Maybe they're not in love with a quarterback and they want to take Jeremiah Smith out of Ohio State. They'll take Tua as like a 1-year bridge quarterback, and they get draft capital on top of it, and they've got money to burn. You know that you don't have to respond to this now, but this is what I'm cooking up.
Okay.
A new battle of the sexes has been announced. This time in the tennis world, it is Sabalenka on the female side and Kyrgios, I think is how you pronounce his name, on the male side. A match that will be a bloodbath, if we're being honest with ourselves. That's not a sexist take. This is just the reality of athletics, is that men are bigger, faster, and stronger because of the way that we are built. I mean, at the professional athletic level, Sabalenka would destroy me in 2 seconds in tennis. But this is what we need to see. This obsession of pairing pro female athletes to male athletes in their sport, that needs to end. The days of the Billie Jean Kings, battle of the sexes, that should go by the wayside. What we should want, what I would pay to see, is pro female athletes going up against average Joes who think they're still athletic. That I would pay for in a pay-per-view setting.
That's an F take. I mean, if you had said female athlete, the top female tennis player taking on the top rated high school male player in the world, not another professional, but just a high school male player, that would be interesting, because I do think there are a lot of high school boys basketball teams that could beat the WNBA champions. All right. So that would be an interesting match. But your idea of taking on average Joes, that's an F take. That's an F all the way around.
That would just be so much fun to watch. Just the guy at the bar who's like, the WNBA sucks. Why does anyone watch this league? And then throw him on a court with Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson, who's getting dunked on. Step back threes over your head. It would be so funny.
Do you think the WNBA champions could beat like the state championship high school team in Florida boys?
Probably. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I don't think so.
Do you think the high school boys team would win?
Yeah.
But those guys, a couple of those players are going to end up playing in the NBA probably. And that's sort of my point, is like the idea of us needing to put supremely
it's ridiculous.
fit.
We don't need to match male and female athletes. They're both their own sport.
Exactly. And so all then you're doing is saying, okay, well, I don't want to see what is being put in front of me. I want to see it, but where there's an age gap, well, there's still an athletic chasm between men and women and just the physiology of life. I don't need to see that. I want to see professional women embarrass the dudes that are sexist and demean them. That would be hilarious.
I don't want to see either of that. I want to see the best women basketball players play each other and the best men basketball players play each other. Why do we have to have gimmicks? Why do we have to have Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson? What is that what we've become in this country? A bunch of gimmick, gadget sporting events? Who wants that? Give me real sports.
As a reminder, as I look at the remainder, rather, of the sports calendar in 2025, something dawned on me is that Christmas Day is now easily the best sports day in the entire year when you consider Tier 1 NBA games alongside Tier 1 NFL games on all day long with no interruption. It is the best sports day of the entire year.
That's a plus take, but it's an F- as far as accuracy. And I mean, yeah, the games are good, okay? But here's the part you leave out, all right? The games are great. The quality of the games are great. But the person who sits in front of their TV set on Christmas Day watching sports is a loser, all right? So you're a loser if you're spending your Christmas Day watching TV instead of spending it with friends and family.
Out of the way, honey. I need Jalen Brunson to go over 22.5 today.
Do you remember when Stan Van Gundy got fined by the NBA when he was coaching the Magic and he was asked about Christmas Day games? And he essentially said that. He goes, you're a loser if you're watching basketball on Christmas Day. And David Stern was the commissioner. He's like, no, Stan, don't be calling our best TV day. Don't call the viewers a bunch of losers.
Yeah, David Stern was right on that one. It's such a great day for the NBA. So many people become fans of the league because of their presence on Christmas. That was not Stan's best moment. Speaking of Christmas, because Thanksgiving decorations are useless, lame, and have really a very short shelf life, it is perfectly fine for Christmas decorations to go up immediately after you're done with Halloween.
You know what? That's a B plus take and an A plus as far as accuracy. I'm going to give you that one because I'm getting more and more. I like Christmas decorations up as long as possible because I think they're pretty and they put you in a good mood when you're out walking at night. You see all the lights in your neighborhood. So yeah, Christmas decorations as long as possible. If you want to put them up right after Halloween, absolutely take them down. Shortly after New Year's Day, absolutely. You get an A for that.
Thank you.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
Great way to go out was with the A right there. I think it was COVID that changed my perspective on this. Thought, hey, you know what? Life's short. And we only get to enjoy that Christmas feeling, that warm, fuzzy feeling that it provides. No matter your religious background, it's just fun. And we only get to enjoy that for a couple of weeks. Stop being such a Grinch. Don't wait until after Thanksgiving. You get 2 months with this stuff, and then you're done. That's it. Up next, we'll hear... Oh, no, we're not doing that. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll hear from you. Text in 50857. Monster Jam tickets up for grabs as well. Don't go anywhere.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Daniels up top. Magic pre-switching. They're guarding the guard with Wendell. Now it's Banchero. Will get a hand up on Alexander Walker. 3 balls up and good. That's a big one.
Not Orlando's best night last night, but hey, if you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. With 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere, Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night and your best stop before the game. Visit toolsacehardware.com.
When your car breaks down, you want a mechanic you can trust, someone who fixes the problem and doesn't try to sell you things you don't need. Well, in Florida, your air conditioner is every bit as important as your car, maybe even more. And for 40 years, Jason and his crew at Ziegler Air Conditioning have been the AC company Central Florida trusts. I'll never forget this past Labor Day weekend. It was 95 degrees. My AC went out, and I thought my holiday was ruined. But within an hour, Ziegler Air had a tech at my door, the problem fixed, and my weekend saved.